Hello, my friend. Tony Stewart here. And today we're going to talk about how to find your major definite purpose. You read these books like Think and Grow Rich and so forth, and they talk about, you know, having a definite major purpose. In fact, rule number one of Think and Grow Rich is desire. What is it that you want? I talked a couple days ago about Bob Proctor and how when he sits down to counsel someone, the first question he asks them is, what do you want? And it's interesting because he says that so often when he asks that question, the person has a real challenge figuring out what they want, And so, how do you go about finding out what you want? Well, there's been two sources that I've really used over the last few years to really set some goals. And they really do a great job of breaking down um, areas of goal setting. The first one is called Success the Glenn Bland Method. And I like this book because it has a spiritual basis to it. And as you go through here, he walks you through the steps, of areas to set your goals. For example, your spiritual goals. Number two, your financial goals. How much would you like to be making? What would you want your net worth to be? Right? Educational goals. What do you want to learn? How do you want to grow mentally? Recreational goals. What kind of fun goals do you have? I think that's especially important in these days that we're having some fun goals that push us to get out of the house and enjoy your life a little bit. And then, so it has those four places: spiritual, financial, educational, and recreational. Now, this other book that I've used before is called Harmonic Wealth. And I'll just show you let me show you there it is. There it is. Can you see that? And the first book, Success the Glenn Bland Method, as you might imagine, is by Glenn Bland. You can find it on Amazon. Harmonic Wealth is by James Arthur Ray. Now, James Arthur Ray was one of the authors of the book The Secret, or the movie The Secret. He was featured on there. And you might be saying, well, Tone, is that the guy who was involved with the Sweat Lodge where people died and he ended up going to prison? Well, yes, it is. And my next statement would be sometimes you got to treat these things, especially these books that come from these authors, these are not coming from perfect people. A lot of the books that deal with personal development are from folks who have all kinds of flaws. I know there's a scandal going on right now because someone who is considered a guru in terms of personal development, well, come to find out, she's going through a divorce. Um, she's actually someone who's had marriage seminars, and she's going through a divorce. And what I will tell you is to treat these things like a buffet. Whenever you get a hold of information, you want to harvest the good and forget the rest. Let me say that again. You want to harvest the good and forget the rest. So I'll tell you, there's some good stuff in this book, Harmonic Wealth. He splits things into five areas. It's the same four areas of the Glenn Bland method, and if you missed that, you can rewind. But he adds a different area for, let's see, what's that? Relational, your relationships. So it's the same areas as the Glenn Bland method. He adds in the relationships. He can set some relationship goals for everyone in your life. What type of relationship do you want to have with them? And I'm telling you all this because what you want to do now is you want to sit down and spend some time. Most people spend more time planning their vacation than they do planning their life. Spend some time, sit down, figure out what you want in each one of those areas. When we talk tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to narrow that down to find the chief one that you're going to work on. But for now, have all five in front of you. Why? Because as you have those first four or five, depending on which method you use, in front of you, it'll start giving you ideas on how to go about reaching some of those goals, or at least moving forward or moving toward those goals in your life. So, all that being said, as always, inbox me. I'll see you in the top five books you should be reading. Be blessed. Have an awesome day, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye now.